Shalom Chaverim and Bruchim Abayim to Pninei Torah, the Pearls of the Torah, a program that is designed to walk through Parashat Shavuot, the weekly portion, and to seek the essence of the Torah, which is Mashiach Tzidkenu, of course. Now today is a double lesson because we are entering the season and the feast of Shavuot, also known as Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah. So first and foremost, let me wish you all a kosher and wonderful and blessed Chag Matan Torah from us here at Ahavat Ameh Ministries. Have you ever heard this expression, nothing is free? I actually like today in this lesson challenge this notion that nothing is free when we start the book of B'midbar, or called Numbers in English, but B'midbar literally mean in Hebrew, B'midbar, in the wilderness. And I would like to look with you at this notion today, as I would like to suggest to you that today, that the entire idea that nothing is given for free is false in the very, very core of the reason the Torah was even given to us. We're not going to go very far today because this is such an impactful Torah portion. We're just going to stay in B'midbar 1, verse 1. And I want you to look with me together. If you have your Bible in Hebrew, English, pull it up. It says, Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe B'midbar Sinai. That's why we get the name B'midbar. B'midbar Sinai, in the wilderness of Sinai. Be'oel Moed, in a specific place called the tents of meeting. Be'echad lachodesh, the first one. Ashenin, the second one. Bashana Ashenit, in the second years. Letzatam me'eretz Mitzrayim le'emor. Okay, so it says here in the Torah that God is speaking, and I want you to notice three things. He's speaking to a specific man. This man is Moshe, in a specific place, Mount Sinai, okay, in a specific time, in the first day of the second month. Why? It is because God controls humanity. He's controlled humanity. He's also controlled the place. He's Lord over the place. If you think God is not Lord over the place, think again. He's Lord over everything. He's Lord even over evil. And that will be a shocking to you. It says in Isaiah 45, he says, I am the creator of good and evil, light and darkness. He's Lord over the place and the people, and he's also Lord over time, because God is timing, okay? He's timeless, okay? So all those three components, God control. Now, I want to ask you a question, something that you might ask yourself or not ask yourself, is why God chose to give us the Torah in the wilderness. Think about this. The wilderness, everything around us is dead. Why God chose the wilderness? Shouldn't it make more sense that God to bring us to the promised land, settle us in the promised land, and then give us the Torah? The wilderness is not a good place to be. So it appears. And the rabbis asked this question, why this book called In the Wilderness? Why this entire portion? Why the entire thing that we call the giving of the Torah, Matan Torah? Why is it happening in the wilderness? And this is an important question we all have to ask ourselves. Why? Why God chose to appear in the wilderness? Why God chose to appear in the darkness? And also later in the chapter here, there are the 12 men who stand, who receive the heads of the tribes. The first one, his name is Elitzur, God is my rock. And then last one, his name Ben Einan, Achira Ben Einan. What Einan? Einan is from the Hebrew word Anan, clouds. Okay, so we start with the rock and we go into the cloud. God is again reminding us of the things that he have done. But here he's talking to Moshe in a specific place. And there's an interesting passage in Numbers Rabbah, chapter 1, I think it's Siman 7, that is asked this question or try to address why God spoke to Moshe in the wilderness. And here's what our sages says. I would like you to read this answer with me. And it says, and the Lord spoke unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. Why in the wilderness of Sinai? Our sages have inferred from this that the Torah was given in the accompaniment of three things. And what are those three things? Fire, water, and wilderness. Fire, where it's derived from the text. Now, Mount Sinai was altogether on smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire, it says. And water, where is that derived from? For it says, the heaven also drop, the cloud drops water. And wilderness, where is wilderness derived from? Okay, from the text. And the Lord spoke unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. And we continue, and it says, why was the giving of the Torah marked by those three features? And here is the answer. To indicate that as these are free to all mankind, so also are the words of the Torah are free. As it is say, oh, everyone who is thirsty, come and have water. Yet another exposition from the text, and the Lord spoke unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, anyone who does not throw himself open to all like a wilderness cannot acquire wisdom and Torah. And so it is says in the wilderness of Sinai. What is incredible explanation from the rabbis who says to us, in essence, let me recap it to you. They say that it's appear that God appeared in the wilderness, okay, that the Torah is giving us in two things. Fire, water, and water represents spirit. If you don't think that the Spirit of God was there on Mount Sinai, think again. The Spirit of God was there in the children of Israel on Mount Sinai, upon the children of Israel. The Spirit of God was always there. When we get into the Acts chapter 2 and we read about the quote-unquote, this event called the pouring of the Holy Spirit, all what it is here is a reenactment of the things that have already happened and the greater pouring of the Spirit, but the Spirit was all there. Now, the rabbis explain that all of those things are free, and this is important. The Torah is free. Okay, but here is the got you. It is free only if a person throw himself open to be like the wilderness, like B'midbar. What is that supposed to mean? Make yourself to be like the Midbar. Chazal asked the same question, okay? Ma perush chinam? That's in Etz Yosef, they asked the question, Ma perush chinam? What does it mean free? There is nothing free. What does it mean? And they explain that the fire and the water, okay, are representing the tools, okay? Those are the tools, okay? But there is a difference, Chazal explained, between the fire and the water, because they give for free, which means without asking anything, but those ultimately lead us to the ultimate prize. And what is the ultimate prize? Is the wilderness. And the wilderness is something that is Let me explain to you this way. Think about building a chair or a table. You need tools, okay? And what are the two tools that you can go to Home Depot and get for free? Those are the spirit and the fire. Those are given to you. But they are assembling something, and this assembly is representing the wilderness. Why? Because Midbar, desert, wilderness, is something that is covered in soil. It's called in esoteric thought, Yesod Adamah, the foundation of the earth, okay? And what is Adamah related to? Adamah comes from the word Adam. It's related to the name of Adam. And Adam is the picture of the Mashiach. If you take the name Adam, Aleph, Dalet, Mem, you get Adam, David, Mashiach. In essence, the Torah is given us for free so that we can find the soil of the wilderness. Now, that still doesn't make sense. Why would we want a soil like a wilderness? Isn't the wilderness is hard? Wouldn't we want the land is flowing with milk and honey? No. We want the wilderness. Okay, let me explain to you why. The study of the Torah is equivalent to study and applying of the Torah is equivalent to the wilderness. And now we will understand what the sages tell us. Why? You don't see immediate results. It's like the wilderness. You are digging and you are digging and you're digging and the land is hard and the land is dry, okay? And very few want to put a greenhouse in the wilderness. Go to the wilderness. There's nothing there. Very few choose to do it. But this choice probably not going to yield much fruit in this world, but it is yielding much fruit in the world to come. The reason that that Chazal says that we are to do those things in the wilderness, only those tools, the Spirit should lead us to the wilderness, because in the wilderness we build, we don't see fruit now, but we're going to see a fruit in the world to come. That's why Yeshua says, store up treasures in heaven. Store up your treasures in heaven. That's a very important principle. The things that we do, we have to do for the kingdom to come. That's why in the book of Hebrews, Shaul says to us, in Hebrews 11, he says to us, we're not looking for this city, we're not looking for these things that we're going to gain now, but he said, we are looking for the city to come. Okay? The Torah is giving in the Midbar, in the wilderness, so we will study Torah, as Chazal said, Limud Torah Lishma, which literally means in English, so we study Torah for its own sake, not for the French benefits that is including getting rewards, getting benefit, getting mammon, getting recognition. If we do any of those things, study Torah, we are studying Torah in the wrong place. We should study Torah where we are simple, when we don't have the luxuries. Okay? And can you think about a place more like that than in the wilderness? No. That's the place where the Shekhinah of God is appearing. Okay? And I want to ask us today the question whether or not we study Torah for its own sake. Here is what Chazal says in Ta'anit 7, Aleph. Let's read this together. And they said the following. Whoever occupies the Torah for its own sake, here you go, Torah Lishma, his learning become like elixir of life to him. For it says, Etz Chaim I lema'amineh vetomcheh meushar. But it further says, it shall be as I held to thy navel. It will be taking care of you. The Torah will take care of you even if you're in the wilderness. And it is also said, whoever find me, find life. Think about the paradox. You are in the wilderness. But if you're in the wilderness, you will find life. But whoever occupies himself with the Torah, not for its own sake, is become to him like a poison, as it says, my doctor should drop in rain, and arifah, which means chopping of one head, surely mean death. Please understand what it says here, friend. This is an important lesson for us from the book of B'midbar. The reason God gave the Jewish people the Torah in B'midbar and not in the land and not in any place that is green, because they say, depend at me, depend at the Adamah, depend at the soul that I'm going to provide for you from. And think about this. Yeshua stood and quoted the same verse from Yeshayahu that we say, everyone who is thirsty, come to me. What Yeshua is essentially saying, he's saying, you need to be in the wilderness today. If you're in the wilderness today, I will provide you the water. I will provide you the manna. I will provide those things to you. But the second you start to dig a different well, the second you start to do those things on your own, guess what? You might get to water, but it will be a poisonous, absolutely poisonous water. Look at what God says in Jeremiah. Go with me quickly to Jeremiah, I believe, chapter, let me see. I think it's chapter 2. Okay, let me find it very, very quickly. It's somewhere in Jeremiah 2. It says, "Shte ra'ot asu on me." 2 evils that my people have done. They have not, here, verse 13. Ki shte ra'ot asa mi. For my people has done 2 folds wrong. They have forsaken me and found a living fountain and held me out as a citron, broken citron, which cannot even hold water. Please understand that if we don't practice Torah Leshma, and Torah Leshma, to do Torah for its own sake, and this is what Shavuot is about, is a day to remind us to do Torah Leshma. It's not just a day that we say, we're going to do Nasen Lishma. We will do and we will listen. That's only part of it, friend. But there's a bigger issue here. Are we willing to do it outside our comfort zone? Are we willing to do it in the Midbar, in the desert? Because that's the only place we can find the living water. Yeshua says that He is the living water, which implied that we have to be in the wilderness to receive the living water. So the question, are we willing to go there to the places that even Yeshua was willing to go in order to find the living water? There is even a deeper meaning behind this, now that we understand what this Torah is about. How come we say in the prayer, it says, Lilmod Torah Lishma, to study the Torah Lishma. Now the word Lishma is a feminine. The word Lishmo is a masculine. Lishmo is for Hashem. But how come Chazal said we are to study the Torah Lishma? Okay, Rabbi Kook explained the Torah Lishma. He said because the Torah is called Lishma from feminine because there are different faces to the Torah. You might have heard the expression Shivim Panim La Torah, 70 faces to the Torah, but actually the way he explained it, he says there is not 70 faces to the Torah. He says there are specifically, and I want you to see the word Israel, Yesh Shishim Ribuim Otiyot La Torah, which literally translates, there are 600, that's what the word Israel means. It's Yesh Shishim Ribuim Otiyot La Torah. There are 600,000 letters and faces to the Torah, okay? And the only way we can receive the complete Torah, and this is an very important point, we always argue, I know and you don't know, and she know and he doesn't know, and he have the correct interpretation, she doesn't. And we have all this argument. Well, Chazal actually said the quite opposite. Every one of the 600,000 interpretations are important and makes the Torah what the Torah is today. If one stopping a person from studying Torah, if one stopping a person from bringing interpretation, he is taking a letter from the Torah away. And Yeshua tells us, do not remove no jot and no tittle from the Torah. So, Chaverim, as we walk to the season of Shavuot, we must encourage others to go to the wilderness. We have to encourage others to study Torah. We have to encourage others because every time a person comes with interpretation, he is in essence adding a missing letter or a missing spark to the Torah, and that ultimately has to happen in the wilderness. So friend, I encourage each one of you, don't just operate in the wilderness, but you bring other to the wilderness. Because in the wilderness, it's where we find truly the living water, the land of milk and honey. We'll get there with Mashiach come. But for right now, we have everything we need in the wilderness, in the diaspora, in the Golah. You know, it's called the Galut. We are the Galut. We're in the spiritual exile because Mashiach is still in spiritual exile. But guess what? Even in his exile, he says, I give you a free gift, and this free gift called Torah. So walk into this free gift for its own sake, and not for any other sake, not for man, not for anything, except to the mighty one of Israel. So he will receive honor and glory, and then that the Torah will be recognized Lashma. So others will come and will be able also. When you practice Torah, it should enable others to come and add also. I should not say add, but bring a chidush, interpretation to the same Torah from the same point, even if they have a different angle, but to do it inside the wilderness. So let's invite others to join us together in this great journey in the wilderness as Messiah will come and rapture us to the land of milk and honey. חג שמח חברים, God bless. להתראות.